What's going on, guys? This is Eric, aka The Odorous Bag, here with another video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, a little bit more advanced. So as of these videos, the How to Doom It series is going to be going off of my main directories. I taught you how to set up a directory, so all the same principles still apply. But what we're going to do now is actually apply these things and make them more applicable. This is going to be a two-part series. This is going to be a little bit more advanced than what we're used to. And the reason for this being is that the more file-intensive Doom mods do require you to learn something called boot order. Now, the great thing about boot order is that it's not really going to be super intensive. It's pretty straightforward. If you use the ZDoom launcher, files load top to bottom, so in order of that. So, and most mods that actually do require something intensive like this will be more so, there will be like documentation that tells you how to do it. A lot of mod creators don't just leave you high and dry, so keep that in mind. Now, today we're going to be looking at the first method of organizing boot order, and that's going to be through ZDL, ZDoom Launcher. As you can see, we have everything set up as we would normally have it set up, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to use my GZDoom Developer Edition. Actually, I'm going to use my GZDoom No Textures. I'll get into installing textures on a different date. It's actually kind of simple, and I just created two split directories, but that's something for another time. So the examples we're going to use today are going to be two really awesome mods that I highly suggest. For this example, we are going to be using the Ultimate Doom Visor. It is a HUD replacement that actually makes it look a little bit more modern. And then we're also going to be using Project Brutality 3.0 test. So these two separate entities combined are going to give us a much more different look. So let's go ahead and just start Vanilla Doom 2 just to give you a base point. I'm going to try and keep this as quick as possible. So I may edit this footage out. I know I typically do things that are a little less, edit intensive. That way you could see all the different motions. But this is just me starting up and getting things together. So you may not even be hearing what I'm saying right now. Okay, so this is just Vanilla Doom 2. We all know it, we all know what it looks like, but this is just to create the reference. And as you can see, just standard fare, looks just like normal. So, yeah. This is just map 1 of Doom 2. But what if we could go further? What if we could make a different change? So this is where weapon mods and HUD mods come into play, because they look entirely different, but a lot of times I actually like the way they look. Personally, I think it's actually, gameplay changing and just an overall different experience. And it's like almost a different game at that point. So what I want you to do, because this is going to also be updating my own Project Brutality and Ultimate Doom Visor, so just beware of that. We're going to go to our Doom directory, and I'm going to go to my mods section, and yes, I have a ton of mods, but I will be providing links to both Ultimate Doom Visor and Project Brutality 3.0, just so that you guys know where to get it. And I'm actually going to hold on here. Okay, so yeah, I don't have that. So let's go ahead, go back to where that new folder was, right here, and we're going to rename this Ultimate Doom Visor. And we're just going to hit enter, and we're just going to open it. And then we're going to open up the Ultimate Doom Visor zip file. And just copy over everything. And there you go. So that's going to be installed into our directory. Now we just need to do Project Brutality. And I will go ahead and do that. And we're just going to name this PB 3.0 just for the sake of example. Don't even know what that new folder is. So let's just go ahead and there we go. And then for Project Brutality 3.0, that's just a simple PK3 file with a slight little patch there, it looks like. So we got that on our SSD for a change. Now, I mentioned a while ago in the 3-part series, and I'm going to emphasize this again, please be sure you're doing this from the system that your operating system is installed on. This is where I was starting to have issues in my older videos. You'll see it, the difference between solid state and mechanical hard drives and how they affect Doom, because it's an old game and how it caches the hard drive is a lot differently now than it was back in 93, so to speak. And with that said, I'm just going to lightly go over that, and we're going to go to installing everything. Now, Project Brutality, that's the simple part. All we have to do is just go to add, go back to our Doom stuff, and then just go to our mods directory, go to PB 3.0, highlight both of these, bam, it is in. The only thing I would say is you want this lower on the boot order. Now is where it gets slightly difficult. So let's go ahead and go to our WADS mods, and I'm going to go ahead and look at the Ultimate Doom Visor. And as you can see, there's each of these mods have a letter associated with it, A, B, C, and D. We need to know what those stand for. Well, the most excellent thing is that the person who created this mod provided a PDF. And he even says, get a launcher. And he even shows how to install. So just to let you know, it looks like what he wants us to do is A files go first, B files second, C files third, and D files fourth. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, because I've read through this already, C and D files are considered optional. I tend to like to use them. So let's go ahead and get that loaded. So we're just going to go back, hit add, go to Doom stuff. And then we're going to find Ultimate Doom Visor, which okay, so we're right now back at Z Doom, and then okay, there we go. And here we go. So what I want is my base. Let's go for Visor Alternate 1. Let's do a high-res mugshot. Let's do some screen effects. Let's have some ambient. Let's have... And yeah, let's go ahead and do both these. Now, when you come here, you will see that everything should be loaded in order. Now you don't want to you can't load both B visors in. You have to do one or the other. C's and D's can be combined, and you always need A. That's specifically to Ultimate Doom Visor. However, other mods and WADs may say differently. But this is the most important part, is how we're ordering this. So let's go ahead and hit launch. I'll make sure that I have everything set up here. As you can see, we now get a new loading screen. And everything's changed. Everything. We now have the option of doing a Brutal Doom V20 or Project Brutality. We now have new difficulties. I personally like to play on Brutal. And there you go. And then if you just hit plus or minus on not the number pad, you actually see that it looks kind of different.
Ah, Chainsaw!
And
the great
now voice
communicator!
acting. So just let you know, that's how this is done. This is the first method of boot ordering. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. That actually goes and concludes this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you have any insights on how this could have been better, excellent. I'd love to hear that. Once again, links for everything I provide will be in the description below so that you can go ahead and toy with this. This is applicable to most WODs. When we get to more complicated mods, in the next video, I'll go ahead and fill you in on how that's done. Thank you so much for watching.